I hope Trypticon's not too distracting. I notice that he takes up like a third of the screen right now. Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time it's going to be kind of a brief summary and review of the Transformers Cyberverse Season 4 Episode 1, or Part 1, because it's going to be in two parts. It's going to be kind of like a 1 hour event for both sections, although they're technically 40 minutes, but when you watch it on TV it's going to be an hour. But this is going to be kind of a more unedited version of the review, so take that how you will. You know, I'm gonna say a bunch of times, but I wanted to get my thoughts. So this is going to be the first part. I believe it's called the Immobilizers, and there's going to be some minor spoilers here and there. I'm going to talk about some of the characters that appear, but they're not really going to be a big deal that you know who's in it. In fact, most of which they show off in the trailers. But I want to talk about this. So it starts off with RC and Grimlock. They're coming back from an adventure. You know, they had their own little, almost like Indiana Jones style mission where they grabbed a bunch of, you know, these treasures, like a Nokia phone style thing. But Grimlock has also found an enigma, and they're not entirely sure what it is. But they come back and they see that Cybertron has pretty much frozen in time. So they were hosting an event where they're doing a peace treaty so that the Autobots and Decepticons can get along on Cybertron, you know, leaving off from the previous season, Season 3, which I think is a good thing, and it's going to lead up to the next part later on. But what turns out is the Immobilizers, which we could pretty much tell are the mercenaries based on, you know, obviously from the Transformers War for Cybertron series, they've come and they're trying to loot Cybertron. So we've got some characters coming in, and they're all going to be repaints except for their boss man, which is the reason why I brought out him. We've got Sound Blaster, which I thought was pretty cool. We've got Double Crosser, which I thought was kind of a little too on the nose. Like, some of these repainted or recolored characters could have been whoever, but I feel like Double Crosser being from Rack and Ruin was just a little more on the nose, but they did comment about that. We also have Nightbird, which I thought was pretty awesome. And we have Bug Bite, which is a white recolor of the Bumblebee. And I think my favorite, and I'm hoping we get a toy, although it might be a little too late in the toy line, we also have Afterburner, not based on his G1 counterpart that combines with Computron. He's actually based on his G2 Decepticon appearance, which I thought was wicked. Now, he is a recolor of Ramjet or Dirge, but despite that, I think he fits in perfectly. And I just think that's an awesome nod. Another awesome nod I'm going to talk about, an Easter egg that's early in the episode, is there's a bunch of mentions for other YouTubers, like come on Cam and Thew Adams gets a mention on one of the sheets. You kind of have to translate it, and unfortunately there's a few misspellings, but they're there, and I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm totally not jealous of that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. There's other Easter eggs, of course, in the show. So anyways, with Grimlock, he does come across the Dinobots, which have arrived on Cybertron, and obviously because they just arrived, they're not immobilized either. And they eventually will combine to form Volcanicus, and Volcanicus will go out to stop the, you know, the mercenaries, or the Immobilizers, as they keep calling them. So, one of my complaints about this episode is that because most of the characters are immobilized and it's mostly just Grimlock and the Dinobots doing their own thing, not really much changes from beginning to end except for the peace treaty for most of the characters. Now, I get why. It's just, when you think of the grand scheme of this, like, this is the first part of the finale of the entire show, and it just more so feels like it's meant to promote that the Dinobots are available in stores right now. You can buy them, and they're now a part of the adventure. Which, you know, is obvious. That's a thing that Transformers does, you know, that's fine. But it just feels like it's more on that than anything. But at the same time, it's just a fun little episode, so, you know, that's alright. It still has some of the similar jokes, so if you don't like the jokes in Cyberverse and think it's a little too wacky or weird, well, you're going to continue seeing that here. I do find it funny what they did with Trypticon, though. I won't spoil that, but it is kind of funny what they did with that. Also, they redesigned some of the characters, including Swoop, who has been gender swapped. It was a he originally, now it's a she, and I'm totally fine with that. Also, I'm a little confused with what they're doing with the Dinobots. I like that she's more of the scientist. I'm totally into it, that's totally fine. But obviously she gets dumbed down when she's in her beast mode, because that was the thing with Grimlock. But what confuses me is the rest of the Dinobots. They seem to be already dumbed down, and then they just get a little bit dumber. It's kind of confusing how that works. Mostly with, I guess, Sludge, he mostly speaks like one word at a time, but he wasn't really smart in robot mode to begin with, so I don't know exactly what's going on there. But despite that, thought it was okay. You know, thought it was a fun episode. If you like Cyberverse, you're going to continue to like this. Just don't expect this to be super significant in the grand scheme of things. At the end, it doesn't really tease too much of what's going to happen in the follow-up episode, which is the finale. But yeah, I thought it was fine. So with that out of the way, what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. I will come back with my review of part 2, because that's actually premiering on my TV, so that's going to be awesome. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.
AllSpark TV. Now that's just prime.